anyways, welcome to Creating with Colleen. It is noon on a Wednesday. I'd be afraid to say the date. The last Wednesday in May. Let's just play it safe. I just returned from our Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. I have to tell you, Stampin' Up! Is the most amazing company. And not only do they put back into their community all the time, but they put back into those who work for them. And I have been blessed to go to some of the most amazing places by earning their yearly incentive trip. So this past year, of course, 2020, we were supposed to go to Maui. That was, canceled due to COVID. So they extended it for another year. So if you earned it either one of those years, you got 5 days in Maui, all expense paid, pillow gifts, for two, mind you, and that includes your airfare. And if you had earned both years, they had what they called an elite portion where you went in 3 days early, which thanks to all of you and my awesome team, I was blessed to go in for the entire time. And the gifts they showered us with were simply amazing. Danny and I have a brand new pair of Ray-Bans. We had a $100 Visa gift card, which I used towards my lunch at Mama's Fish House. Well spent, well worth it. We have received product from the new catalog that's going to be coming out, the holiday catalog. Oh my goodness, just cute gifts. I can't even go on with it because I know you're here to stamp. But I just want to say kudos to Stampin' Up! My life was forever changed the day that I joined Stampin' Up! 20 years ago, and they have just made a difference really in the lives of Danny and I, and we have been blessed by it. So again, you are Creating with Colleen. I come to you live every Wednesday at noon on the East Coast, and today I want to share an awesome suite with you that is called You're a Peach. So this suite is found on page 60 and 61 of the new catalog. And I had my pieces laid out all nice, so I thought, well, let me give you the dimensions first, since it's all pretty and laid out here. Then I'm going to show you what we're going to make, and I'll introduce you to this suite. So this is what you're going to need to create our card. We are making a bookbinding card, which I did a couple weeks ago, but I have a different way of stamping it, and you'll see what I mean in a few minutes. So what you're going to need is an 11 by 4 1/4 inch piece of soft suede. You're going to score it at 5.5 and 6 3/4. You're going to need about a 3-inch piece of this beautiful pale papaya ribbon. You are going to need a 4-inch square of pale papaya, which is really quickly becoming one of my favorite colors. Hello, Nancy has been in Hawaii for 4 years. She said, great, Nancy. And hello, Doris, I'm glad you could join. Glad you could join. And yes, welcome home. We came crashing home hard. What can you say? But again, just a 4-inch square of pale papaya. And these little peaches I've already cut out, but you'll see that when I create. You are going to need 2 strips of 1 1/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch of You're a Peach designer paper. You're also going to need a 1 inch by 4 inch piece of the Sweet as a Peach designer paper. You are going to use a 3 5/8 inch square of basic white. This is for the inside of the card. 3 3/8 inch square of basic white for the front of your card. And then 2 pieces of Calypso coral that are 3 3/4 inch square. And this also is becoming one of my favorite colors. I love how it pairs up with the pale papaya. So let me set all this aside, and I will let you know what you're making. Try to keep my insides and my outsides together. Alrighty. Again, forgive me if I'm a little slow today. Coming back from the incentive trip, it's never a problem. I come in, I'm domesticated, I'm glad to be home, I do laundry, but I am just really in a fog. It's my second day of in the fog, and it's lifting, so hopefully it will keep lifting. But first, the cards that you're going to make. Again, this is a bookbinding card, so you've seen this one that I did before, the hand pen petals. And again, I love it because I love having a symmetrical 4 1/4 inch square to work with. And so in Maui, we did a card swap. So you made 26 cards. One goes to Stampin' Up! And the other 25 go on display, and you're swapped with other demonstrators. So next week I will probably be sharing those swap cards with you, the ones that I received. But this was mine. I needed something quick and easy, and to know me is to know I had everything stamped and assembled on the plane. Had my headphones on with my music on the way to Maui, having a fantastic time. So I kept it simple. I did not use any big shot work. Just used the stamps and ink and the designer paper. So just made a cute little happy birthday, let's celebrate you card. So what I wanted to share for you today, I wanted to step that up a little bit. As you can see, the peaches are cute, but I just stamped in the pale papaya, so they look kind of flat. And the leaves, I stamped in the pear pizzazz. So again, nothing wrong with that, but I wanted my fruit to come to life just a little bit more. So I used 2 shades of ink, and these are really Colleen colors anyways. So on this card, this is a card I'm going to show you how to create. You can see I combined the inks. I combined the pale papaya and the Calypso coral. And then I also used the pear pizzazz and the mossy meadow. And I just think that gave my card a lot more depth with the fruit. And then when you open it up, I kind of stepped up the inside too, did a little bit more of the stamping, backed it on some cardstock and designer paper. So this is what I'm going to show you today how to create. First, let me go ahead and introduce you to this awesome suite though. Again, it is the Euro Peach. It is the Euro Peach suite on page 60 and 61. So basically, you have the bundle. You always want to try to get the bundle, which is your stamp set and your dies together, because you save 10% that way. So the Sweet as a Peach bundle is only $36.75, and it gives you this stamp set. And I don't know if you can see it there or if it's my eyes, but looking at it, these are the shapes that are shaded. So the dies cut these shapes out. Plus you have a couple other dies in there. But that is the stamp set. It also comes with beautiful designer paper. These cute, you can order these cute little mini jam jars. Those are on page 137. So looking at it up close and in person, this is the Sweet as a Peach stamp. It is a photopolymer stamp, so it's great because you want to be able to see through how to put these peaches on your leaves. And again, what I love that Stampin' Up! Is doing is I love how we don't have that separate sheet anymore. The photopolymer stamps cling so well, and so I could just put all my pieces on the back here. And they're just right there, and they fit great, and I'm not fumbling. And just like I did a couple weeks ago, I shouldn't lose the stamps because this case is easy to find. Now these are the dies. So you basically have 17 dies. And what I really like is you have this little piece in here, and all these thin little lines of sayings fit on those dies. This is all one die, this is one die, and so is the stamp. So when you stamp it, it cuts the 3 at a time. You have this cute little branch with some other leaves. This, of course, can be stamped out. So all these things can be stamped. They can be cut out with the die and then popped up. And then you have these stinking cute little flowers and the big peach. So again, these are the peach dies, and there are 17 in the set. You want to buy that in your stamp set as a bundle. Now the designer paper is amazing. The designer paper is Euro Peach, and I'll show you the fronts first, but the colors are just gorgeous. There's 1, 2, love this. Just reminds me of a bright blue sky behind all these beautiful peaches. This is gorgeous. Loving this balmy blue in here. This, of course, was one of my faves, because if you know Colleen, she is an earth elements kind of girl. I love all the fall tones. Then you have this designer paper here. And then this I love because it kind of combines them all. You do have the balmy blues plus all your other natural colors. Now for the back side, You have some gorgeous greens, which is my favorite color. This I love because it's more of like an ombre, kind of a variegated colors with your dots. This, we can always use any kind of stripe to accent our cards. And of course with this one too, you can go horizontal, you can go vertical, however you want it on your card. And then this is really fun with these blue dots. Beautiful colors here. And then of course, bunches of little peaches. And they are fun. So that is the actual suite. And I really do love this suite. It was one of my favorites when I first was looking at it. So let's see who else has come on. Hello, Doris, Bonita, Julie. Welcome home. Yes, I am home. I always say it's good to go and it's good to be home, but I probably could have done one more day in Maui. Although let me say, Stampin' Up! Was amazing. They actually paid for us to have the room the last day. So it was like giving us one more day in Maui. Our flight did not leave till 8 o'clock at night. We went snorkeling that morning. We saw turtles and fish right there off the beach where we stayed. We had a fantastic pool day. We're able to go to the room, get showered, eat a pizza, and then hop on the plane. So once again, thank you, Stampin' Up! So we're going to start this card. So again, this is my 4 1/4 by 11, scored 5 1/2 and 6 3/4. And I am just going to fold this down. Oh, see, I was going to use my finger. Let me use my bone folder. Because this creates your bookbinding card. And you want to just go ahead. We can just tape this down. This is on the inside part. Oops, wrong adhesive. That's how strong it is. I've got the Seal Plus, and I wanted my other one. Thankfully, it's right here. Alrighty, so that creates the bookbinding card, giving us this 4 1/4 inch beautiful symmetrical piece. So now I'm just going to take my designer paper, put this on the side, and again, you are going to get a lot of mileage by using a 1 inch by 4 inch piece of designer paper. You can get 36 pieces out of one sheet of 12 by 12. Now for the base, I'm just kind of putting these pieces on here because then I'll have them. This is your 4 inch pale papaya. So I will put this on there. And then we'll do some fun stamping. Okay. So that's kind of the basis of the card right there, the basics. So for my front, I'm going to take this piece here. And as I was saying, let me put this down so I don't mess up my little graph piece. To get the two colors in this card, I go ahead and I'm going to stamp it with 2 different colors. And the way I'm going to do that is I'll take my Pear Pizzazz and I will ink that up. So this is the lighter of my greens. Then all I have to do is take my Mossy Meadow, which is a gorgeous darker green, and just take a sponge dauber. So I have a sponge dauber and I'm just lightly going around some of the leaves, just kind of like the tips. A little bit on the side here. And then I'm going to huff it. Yes, I am. That is a technique. This is a classic ink, so it's water-based. So when you moisten it with your breath, it comes to life. So you're not blowing, you're huffing like this. Just like it sounds. And I will put this over here. Oops, I did not put my pad underneath, so I'm going to press nice and hard because it is photopolymer, it doesn't give. And see how it gives it a two-tone? It just gives it a lot of depth in there. Let me put this under here. Okay. Now, I want to do this again. I'm going to come off there. So, I could clean it, but I could just kind of dab it too. Make sure that dark is off of there. Go once again into my pale papaya. I'm sorry, into my Pear Pizzazz. And then my Mossy Meadow. And just, again, just give a little dab. And that's how you get the 2 inks together. And you're not going to be muddying up any of your ink pads. huff it. And then I just kind of try to line it up where I have a leaf that kind of came off where that stem ended. So you really don't know that it ended. And I'll set those aside. So now I can stamp my Sweet as a Peach on here. To be safe, you probably should have done that first. Again, I'm blaming everything today on my jet lag. May even see a quick little nap on the couch later. Nothing like a recliner. Okay, hope your day is as... And I'm stamping this in the Calypso Coral. And I hope your day is as sweet as a peach. So I'll put it right here. So there's my saying. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, just for the sake of it, but I will show you how I did it, is I have, as I said, the peaches, what's nice about these smaller peaches is that there's 3 together. And they actually fit. If you were to take it and put it on your stamp, they'll actually fit nicely inside that stamp. That's how, oops, you know, I was able to stamp the 2 together. But to put them on here, you're just going to take the pale papaya, always your lighter color first, then Calypso Coral with your sponge dauber. And I kind of went around the same of each side. I guess they call that your light source. You know, I'm not about to get that technical on my card, but kind of keeps it symmetrical. Then when I stamp here, you can see how I get the 2 tones on my peaches. So basically, I already did those for the sake of time. I have cut those out. And I have them here. So, you know, you could just lay them any way you want. I did kind of want to put some down and some up, again, to give a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to lay this one down, and I never put anything down. I never push it down to where it's exactly where I want it. So there's one. Put that one there, kind of over it. There's another one. And see how they're both kind of broken? That's because this goes over it. You know, if you were to stamp it, that goes over it, but it's basically coming off of that stem there. I like those, so I'll put those down. And then, let me do one more at the top here, because I have a little bit of a gap there. And I will just put that right on top. So there's my peaches. And I'm just going to take this and put this on to my Calypso Coral piece. That is a 3 3/4 inch square. And when I put it on here, I definitely want to use dimensionals, but I want to put that little piece of ribbon on the back. So to me, it's just as easy as a little bit of tape in the middle and make your tail. And this way you're not trying to hold this tail on the back. So I put my tail, a little bit more tape, and I put it on here. And then I always like to put my dimensional on that ribbon to make sure it stays even better. One's going to go basically in the corner anyways, so you might as well make sure it serves a double purpose. I'm going to hold my ribbon. Oops, that's how you tell if you've taken your paper off. Nope, not sticky. Okay. So then with this, I will put it on the card. And again, I love all these colors together. So I have this on my card, and then I'm going to use, you know, I can't use my shimmer paint because we don't carry it anymore, but we do have our Wink of Stella. And with the Wink of Stella, it's perfect because it dries quickly, gives it that extra shimmer that it needs because I want my peaches to stand out, and it does not make a mess. So let me just a little bit in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. You know, we lose a lot in the camera. But I do have shimmery peaches. You might have to trust me on this. And now I'm going to do my inside because I have this inside piece. So for the inside, again, I wanted to showcase my designer paper. So I had those 2 strips that are 1/4 inch by 3 3/4. And then this was a 3 5/8 inch square. It's a little bit bigger. Now when I have something thin like this, a lot of times I like to use my craft and rubber mat because the tape technically doesn't stick to it. So I am going to come across. If I put it on my paper, something that thin, I'm going to have tape all over my paper. And I did not want that. So here I'm just going to line it up at the bottom. And I want to do this first before I stamp it because I'll know where to put my peach. So I make it just a little bit bigger to make sure my ends match up well. And then I'm just snipping off these little pieces. And then I'm going to take the other one. Oops, oops, oops. Wrong mat. Put a little bit more. And put this at the top. Let me see. And actually, just so I kind of have, you know, I like things symmetrical. I've got just a little bit of the color on that end. So if I put that down first, I come close to ending with the color on the other end. And I'll snip this again. Oh, Doris loves my card. Thanks, Doris. Yes, the colors were great. You cannot beat the way Stampin' Up! Colors coordinate together. They're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to do the same with the larger peach. So I've got the great big peach, and I'm going to take the pale papaya, ink it up. Again, Calypso Coral. Just come around the edge here a little bit. And you can do these with all different colors. You can do it with light and dark of the same colors, whether they be blues, greens. Again, just a great way to give some depth and definition to what you're stamping. Don't forget to huff. So I have my little peach there. And then I will do the same thing for the stem that comes off the top. As soon as I find it. Oh, to the left. Okay, so Pear Pizzazz. Sponge Dauber with Mossy Meadow. Just right in there. I can even make my stem just a little bit darker too. And again, I'm not worried about it drying because I huff it. It comes to life with the water-based ink. So I huff. And then stamp my peach, just like that. And then just to kind of offset my colors again, I will attach this to my Calypso Coral. And I put a much smaller edge on this, but I think it still makes a big difference. I want it on the front. I really wanted this edge larger to pick up the colors in the designer paper. But for this, I just wanted to lightly frame it on the inside. And then right here you go. Sometimes it's really fun to really kind of step up your inside. A lot of people don't do much to the inside, but to me, that's a little stepped up, and I really do like it. So one thing I did forget to do, jet lag. I forgot, I wanted to speckle this. So here's what you do when you forget something like that. You're gonna be like, doggone it. I'm just gonna mask this because I really think the speckles make the difference. So see, when you're stamping with me, you're stamping in real time because you know I'm not perfect. In fact, I typically start my videos by saying, I will tell you what to do. I may tell you what not to do, I may teach you what not. I may teach you what to do, may teach you what not to do, but I promise to teach you something. So here's how you fix something like this. I wanted to speckle this, but I don't want it to go all over. So I just kind of masked the cardstock. I'm going to take a block. It doesn't matter what block, because basically I'm taking my blends. This is the light soft suede to tie all my colors together. And I have the brush end. I'm going to take it off, and I am just going to take it and hit it against my block. And it puts these extremely natural speckles on there. So there's my speckles. But as I take it all off, there. Now it's not everywhere on the card. So that's how you do that. And I'm not going to speckle the inside because I have so much going on with my designer paper and my peach, but I had to have it on the front. It would just make all the difference in the world. So that's what happens when you work backwards. That's how you do it. So again, these are, I promise not to do a bookbinding card again next time. I have been through this, but you know, like I said, before my trip, I wanted a quick, easy fold that I could use, but this is how I step up the peaches. So this is again with the sponge daubers, and this is a little bit flatter without. So both make a great card, but definitely for me, I like the two-tone. So there are those. Let me show you a couple others. I did get 2 in my swap, so I'll share those 2 with you since we're talking peaches. This did not have a name, but I liked how she made the card simple. I know she used a blending brush and the Pierre Pizzazz ink in the back because it is so soft. Our new blending brushes are so much softer than a sponge. And then, of course, she did the peaches, but she used one of our dies to cut that point, and then just use some of our new in color designer paper. So it gives the illusion, whoops, sorry about that, gives the illusion this is all the way up when it's closed, but it's nice to just use a strip of it, and then you still have your white space to write what you would like. And then this is from my dear friend Tanya Reed. This was her card swap, and again, she didn't use the dies. Well, she used this die from something else, but stamped her peach and just says, "You're as sweet as a peach," and showcased her designer paper here. So I will be showing you other cards that I received from the swap, possibly next week. I have a couple suites that I am playing with this week, so you never know what you're going to get, but I promise to create something with you. Now, don't forget that through the end of the month, through May 31st, we have the Join Plus special, and that is the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit. There's never any obligation to purchase anything, but basically you can pick $155 in product from the January through June mini catalog or the annual catalog that just came out, and $155 in product, and you are only going to pay $99 with free shipping. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I can tell you more. You would be a part of my Stampin' family, which we're doing a fun Zoom event tonight. We're creating together, and I'll be sharing some of that new product with them. They get to see it first. But this is, again, only good through May 31st, so don't delay. And if you don't already receive my newsletter, please go to my blog, creatingwithcolleen.com, and request my newsletter. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to do this whole social media thing, and all of your support would be wonderful. And then if you would like to order anything, the May host code is right here in the top left corner. If your order is under $150, please use that host code. And if not, skip the code and receive the host benefits for yourself. But if you ever have any questions of anything that I have made, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm always here to help you to create in any way I can. And for those of you who are here with me on my Facebook Live, thank you for joining me today. I always love sharing my Wednesday lunch with you. So God bless you all, and I hope you do something creative this week. Take care now. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.